All right, what is up, everybody? How's it going? Thank you for joining us. This is the beginning of episode 4 spoiler discussion for Falcon and the Winter
Oh my
Soldier.
fucking god! Oh my god! Oh
And
my god! Oh my god!
all I want to say
Oh,
is, did you guys tune in for that hour of Zemo dancing?
Oh, that shit was on. That shit was so good.
Marvel actually released a Zemo cut, and it's an hour-long video of Zemo and extra scenes of Zemo dancing, and wow, that was the most exciting thing about today, huh?
It was pretty good.
no, it's alright.
All right, this one is gonna be tough to go in order because holy shit!
Yeah. I don't. Wow.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch! Go!
Oh my god!
Pretty
Like,
bad, dude. Pretty
this
bad.
episode.
God damn that fucking ending! That ending, guys. So I mean, obviously, I don't want to just jump right
I
into
kind of
the
want to
ending,
talk about
but
the ending,
I
dude.
gotta
Can we talk?
We have
I
to.
really want to talk about the ending. Like,
we'll definitely go over the whole episode for sure, but we have to talk
dude,
about
that
that ending
ending. Yeah,
right
that
now.
ending was ridiculous.
Yo.
Ridiculous.
So, all right, I guess I don't usually go first, so I'm gonna open this one up, and holy shit, there was blood on Captain America's shield, and the whole world saw it.
And it was blood from somebody that like didn't need that to happen to. Like it was basically like an innocent person's blood, or like a person who hadn't been like, you know, gone through. Because I mean, you're talking about like somebody who wanted like the vision of Captain America, right? Like Captain America would like, dude, Steve would have like. He would have never thought about doing that ever, like ever.
I knew it as soon as I saw that everyone else had their mask on and that guy didn't. I was like, he's fucked. I was like, he's so fucked. And oh man, I can't, like, when I say that everyone in the world saw blood on that shield, it's everyone watching in our world
4K.
and everyone in 4K. And everyone in the MCU world saw that happen on their phones. It's gonna be on the news, everything. And like we were hinting at it, we were talking about it, and just step by step, John Walker slowly unfolded, and we're finally there. We kept saying, like last episode, the episode before it, we said there was a hint of something in him that was just not great. And here it is. And even Bucky says it in this episode. He says, "I know crazy when I see it. I am crazy." And god damn, dude, that ending, like Broly and I were discussing it because Broly and I watched this episode together, and Goss was watching it on his own. But I said it to Broly, and he mentioned it as well, that I'm so surprised that his transformation was off screen.
Off screen.
Oh yeah.
I was honestly surprised because whenever I had, like, initially I said, oh, he has it now. He has it now.
Dude.
And Broly was like, nah, there's no way he would do it off screen. And I was like, maybe you're right. And because they were already like trying to when Sharon said that, oh, Walker's on the move or whatever, I was like, there's no way he's going into this fight without it after getting it. But god damn, dude.
I want to speak on how like just that last scene was so like it was so impactful that it's like it's absolutely unreal, like what we just witnessed. Like and like it's not even just like a one thing, right? Like it's not just like, oh, we just saw somebody pretending to be Captain America kill somebody, but it's like we saw somebody in the shoes of Steve Rogers using Steve Rogers' shield, killing somebody who's innocent and doing it in front of everybody while also injecting himself with super soldier serum. Like all at the same time. It's like all of that like
slow your roll on the innocent part.
well, okay, so but what I'm saying
But I
is
understand
I
what
mean
you're going.
yeah. So I mean innocent in the way of Steve wouldn't have done that.
Okay, but Steve is somewhat different though, and
But what
like,
I'm saying is
what
like
did Steve
he
lose
would have
to?
Steve would have at least given him over to the authorities so the authorities could have dealt with him, right? So he still would have received punishment and he still would have been arrested and locked up, like regardless, right? And that's something that Steve stood behind.
Okay,
Like
all right. Let me tell you guys. Let me explain something. Okay, obviously this episode is has so many parallels to what movie? You don't know?
parallels.
Yeah. What? Where does it draw its inspiration from? You don't know that? Surprise.
So, Civil
Yeah.
War?
Civil War. And what happened at the end of
Yeah.
Civil
I
War?
mean, I get, yeah.
Right? What happened at the end of Civil War? What was the ending scene with Captain America on top of Iron Man? Right? He was in the same exact position. He was in the same spot, had the shield, and could have beheaded Tony Stark if he really wanted to. He had him in control, but he didn't. But
I wouldn't say the same position because obviously Bucky
no,
didn't
no, no,
die.
no. I'm getting to that point. I'm talking about
Yeah.
his attack was grabbing the shield and ramming it into Tony. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
like Walker
Yeah,
did
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of this. Okay, but the
Yeah, exactly.
problem is that Bucky didn't die. If Tony would have killed Bucky, you don't think that could have snapped Steve? That made it would have made him kill Tony? We don't know, right? It's all hypothetical. We don't know. But this is a man who, like, I really like this episode, and you know, before people think that I'm sympathizing with John Walker, I'm not. Right? He's done after this episode. This episode's done. Right? He's gonna lose the Captain America thing. He's gonna lose the shield. They're gonna give it to someone else. Anyway, this is a guy that throughout the episode struggled and lost his fight and reflected on his losses and how inadequate he was. That he was Captain America, that he was filling the role, but he wasn't doing the same success that he was, and he felt like, oh, the only way I could do it is if I join him, right? If I can't beat him, I'll join him. I'll get the serum and I'll use it. And this is a guy that is haunted by his past and just lost his best friend, like right there. Like, can you really like? It's not like he went and turned on the public. He attacked part of the Flag Smashers and killed one of them right there and then.
So
Go ahead.
I have one counter argument to that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You cannot say that. Yeah, what I'm trying to you can't use that as a reason to say that his the reason that as reasoning why he snapped like that, because Steve Rogers also lost a fuckload of shit. Steve Rogers went through a whole Steve Rogers lost his whole entire life. It wasn't even like he lost one person here and this and this and that and all this other. No, this dude lost his whole life. Every single person that he knew in his life was instantly taken away from him.
But didn't he watch Thor behead Thanos?
I mean, yeah, but
Obviously, Thanos is at a higher level than.
yeah, but that's I mean, like what? Like I don't.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if the means is justified, like, who are we to say, oh, he's a villain because he's acting out? If all this was is if he didn't do this in public, things could have turned different. There's a lot of ifs, obviously, but it's not that he killed; it's that he killed in front of public. Now he becomes a murderer in the public's eye to one of their people. You know what I mean?
I disagree with that because I feel like if he did that in private, it still would have had the same effect. Now maybe the public wouldn't have been notified of it, but let's say as a viewer you're watching this character, like let's say as a viewer you're watching John Walker kill somebody with Captain America's shield, but with nobody present. You're in that fashion as well. Like maybe it wasn't public, but he snaps and he fucking bashes this dude's face in with Captain America's shield and does it behind closed doors. You're telling me that you still wouldn't have the same reaction as you did if he did it in public?
Yes.
It's just say
yes, because look at Bucky. Because nobody knows about Bucky's past. The American government knows about Bucky's past. They know
the
that
thing
he's
is
the one
that
that
Bucky.
killed Tony Stark's parents.
So the thing is Bucky didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but it's still him.
Like, but my point is Bucky didn't have a choice. John Walker had a choice. He always had a choice. He was never made to do something that he didn't want to do.
This is all passion. That's why some people let this go because it's a crime of passion, and he did it because of his friend.
I get like his friend dying being the tipping point, right? Like that's obviously the tipping point, and I understand that if in a scenario where like you're fighting, it's like watching a bad guy kill somebody that's on your team in front, like one of your best friends or whatever, and it happens all the time. Like that's the reason why it's crazy, because we see this happen. It's happened so many times where you watch somebody, literally, like you watch somebody in Marvel and their friend or somebody close to them dies right in front of them, and that person like loses it or whatever, right? Yeah. But the thing is that as somebody who has decided to take up somebody as important as Captain America, there's an added weight of responsibility that you have. Like, because I mean, let's say this happens to somebody like fucking Wanda, right? Like, she could do something that terrible and nothing, like it wouldn't be as detrimental as somebody like John Walker doing it in the fucking Captain America suit.
Yeah, something that Golden pointed out in the chat is that we see it from this episode that Captain America goes beyond America. Like the shield was a symbol, a universal symbol, and he says here John Walker using the universal symbol to murder somebody like that. It's and especially with Steve up in the moon seeing this in Ultra 4K, like holy shit, he's probably rocking in his chair, being like, man, fuck these guys, what did they do wrong?
Oh, fucking Sam for not accepting.
Yeah, but man, okay, so yeah, obviously there's a lot to digest from all the actions that happened with John Walker, and there's a way to look at it. I do like the similarities to Civil War. There was very similar chase scenes. There was very similar like action scenes. Wakanda, it just continues to grow and just fucking their clout is getting boosted out of like
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The moment that they showed Wakanda in the beginning, I was like, no way, Vash was right. Like, there's no way. Like,
yeah, I know, right? I thought the same thing. I told Broly, I was like,
dude, Black Panther's coming out, dog. Like, oh my god, I was.
I know. Ready. I was about. Okay, hon, I'm glad you mentioned that, because can we just take a step back and applaud Sebastian Stan's acting in that first fucking moment of the show?
I wanted to ask.
Holy shit.
I wanted to ask how you
felt. Dude, that was such a good like montage of just everything. Like, here's a piece of the Winter Soldier movie. Here's a piece of First Avenger. Here's a piece of Civil War. Like, it was just crazy to see everything going through his mind, and just like the mental anguish that's going through him as he's like finally overcoming this fucking like set of words that have been said to him for years and years and years. It's like,
how many movies he's been in now? Yeah,
he's been in like fucking like 8 or like 7 movies.
Yeah.
But but yeah, like I thought that was like I love it's weird because I love what they've been doing with Bucky Barnes as a character. I'm not so much Winter Soldier, but I mean it falls into
Well, they
the
did
same
Winter
place.
Soldier in the last episode, right? They had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I meant was just like, I mean, I loved the action sequence that Winter Soldier got in this episode were so
Really?
good. Like I was even surprised when he caught the flying
Oh, that
knife
was
at him
cool.
with his
Yeah.
normal
Yeah, that-
hand. I was like, wait a second,
that was
goddamn. But yeah, I think like overall, the opening sequence of the episode was really really cool. It opened up because I know I think it was mentioned somewhere that Shuri mentioned that she was having trouble with breaking through, and it's nice to see that we got like a little bit more of a reasoning like how they did it, or like some more.
I mean, it just showed like it's him
uh,
passing the trial, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
But that still was
And-
cool.
and-
Like it was a
and-
cool addition. Like it was something like that. Like
Mhm.
we hadn't seen. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like additional
and
footage.
it also opens up Io, like it shows
Mhm.
her more of her character and her personality and her like just coming out of just being one of the guard for the king. Just I don't know, I feel like they did a great job with the opening sequence, and honestly it's hard not to feel like Sam is a little pushed to the side in this show, but he had some really good moments, especially when he was talking to
Carly?
Carly?
Mhm.
Carly, when he was talking to her one-on-one, like, and then also when Zemo was talking to him one-on-one, and he was like, "If you had the serum, would you take it?"
Yeah,
He was like,
I don't
"No."
think he's pushed aside at all. I think he's been been
Yeah.
the leader of this kind of like two-way team. And he's been in a lot of scenes. He's the one that's targeted by Carly. He's the one that's having to try to break out peaceful negotiations and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the only aspect is you're dealing with a bunch of serum, super serum or super soldier serum, and he doesn't have it. And so it looks like he's kind of pushed aside because you kind of expect, oh well, Bucky should be able to handle himself, and now John Walker's going to be able to handle himself. How is Falcon doing it? And he is. He's maneuvering with his, he's doing what he does best. Like he's not getting pushed around. I was kind of, to be honest, I was a little, I don't know, like I was kind of shocked how easy they took these guys down a little bit.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like I felt like they kind of got bodied the first episode.
And then all of a sudden they're like I don't know,
Like,
like
he's
Sam,
stuck?
Sam was like
Well,
1v1ing
and
super soldiers, dog. Like,
That's why I think why I harken back to they were like, remember I think in one of our, it was like the episode 2 discussion, I said that they were kind of feeling them out and they were kind of
okay.
not really
Yeah.
They were kind of running the rounds and not really all
Going
there
all
with their
in.
performance.
Yeah.
They weren't really going all in because they were trying to feel with what they're up against. And I feel like, this kind of further pushes that fact that experience trumps, just whatever. Oh, here's a random person and now they have serum. So yeah, they're stronger, but they're not fighters. They're not like, expert martial artists or anything. They're just people who punch really hard.
Yeah.
So obviously, Sam can hold his own because he's fought a lot of people, and Bucky has been around forever. So I think that's what I liked about this episode, was that we got moments where they schooled people who were supposed to be schooled, and even if they were 3 against 2 or 2 against 1 or something, it didn't matter because they were able to overcome it. But there was that talk that Sam has with Zemo, I definitely said out loud. I was like, okay, Captain America, because he was talking to him like, oh, you don't like super soldiers, but what about Bucky, and what about this and that, and he was kind of like
challenging his mind.
He was challenging his mind and his way of thinking, of saying like super soldiers shouldn't exist, and that she's on a path that you can't fix anymore. So like the things he said sounded just like what Steve would say, and it was really really good. And I've just Falcon, I can't wait to see him with the shield and to see what he's gonna do further. But But yeah, also what Golden says here. There's a difference between being prepared for a fight and not really knowing what they're up against. And I definitely think that shows here. They even went and got their costumes on and came back soon after. Whenever Falcon was gonna meet up with Kali again for the second talk, but yeah, we've kind of jumped around here and there. So we got through the beginning of the episode, and then it goes into they're at Zemo's place, and they're trying to get information about the funeral because that's their best lead on trying to figure out where Kali is and where the Flag Smashers are. And Zemo ends up giving candy to little children, a Turkish delight.
Zemo the candy
And
man.
so yeah, let's go a little bit more into Zemo. How are we feeling about where he's at now? How he's played his part, and just that whole section where he was telling the girl, "Oh, it'll be our secret," but then they end up getting there.
Dude,
anyway.
he is a character this entire episode that had me like, oh shit, like every episode, like every moment he had, it was very like, dude, I'm so scared that this dude is gonna turn on everybody in like a fucking second. Like I don't trust this dude at all. And like every time he like gets a chance to do something, he always does it. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, like what the fuck? So that scene where like he found out the information, and when he told the girl like, oh, don't say anything to those two, they're very bad men, and like she like turned to look at like Falcon and Bucky, and they're just like standing there. Dude, during that whole scene, I was very, very much like, I can't believe this dude's gonna try to get away. And then when they ask him later on, like, what did she tell you? And he's just like, he doesn't want to give up the information. That scene was also super dope. So I really like his character where like he's trying to find ways that he can get away from them, and like it's almost constantly failing. Like I think it's super funny.
Yeah, I think Zemo has it's like I mentioned last discussion. I just think that it's awesome that Marvel is so good at like expertly making smaller minor villains like in the comics shine so much more in the movies. And Zemo's becoming one of those people that he's very, he's just very conniving, he's very intelligent, and he's got a lot of depth to him. And it's like, it's at this point, the Wakandans who come in, they have a point, and they're very upset with the reasoning behind. Like, I'm really nervous, and I'm very curious at what is gonna happen with the relationship between Bucky and them, because like they are pissed. Like he is working with and helped escape the guy who killed their killer, like the king, the father of their king, basically. And it definitely Zemo is really shining through with his personality, and he talks about his son, and he talks about him growing up in those streets. And it's cool to finally see just a small little hint of conflict in his own thought process whenever him and Falcon were talking. It was interesting to see that he, kind of held his own and was actually shooting down Carly and got some shots off on her in that struggle. And then that moment when he picked up the serum and he just looks at it.
I lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, Brawley even said out loud, he was like, "Oh, is he gonna take it?" And I was like, "No way, he fucking hates super soldiers. Like, it's not gonna happen."
I still got scared. Like, I was like, "Dude."
It was like a hint. There was a small little hint of like, let's tease the audience here.
Like there was Wakanda after him. They had freaking Sharon Carter on them. They had a bunch of people on them. So it's like,
all I thought was, I was like, this dude. I was like, this. All I know is that's not something that should belong in that guy's hands. That's it. Okay, like it doesn't matter if he hates super soldiers or not. Like Zemo should definitely not have access to that serum, like at all.
And but yeah, sure enough, he throws it down and he starts breaking them all, and that really takes a hit with the Flag Smashers, because that was their army that they were gonna make, basically. Yep. And then it goes into John Walker taking him out, and Falcon and everybody else basically shows up soon after, being like, "Oh, what did we miss?" Because they see all the serum everywhere. They see John Walker there, and Zemo's on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to John Walker a little bit, we get more and more insight, more and more subtlety, and it sucks because we had that discussion with Falcon and Kali where it was a very, bouncing off each other's ideals, and then also bouncing off of each other's support for one another and understanding. And it just showed that Falcon, it's so great that we have moments where in other movies where Falcon literally was talking to veterans. He was he has that expertise, and he has that humanity in him to help others with words. And it's so cool that it just comes full circle, and now he's using that in a live situation, and so it was a really good scene. They were talking, and he was making her second guess herself, saying "Oh, my friend who knows a lot about super soldiers says that you're a supremacist," and she's just like, "No, but then soon enough she turns into saying "I'm gonna make them, what I need them to be, or I'm gonna kill who I need to kill," and he's like, "Oh, wow." And it was a great scene, but then sure enough, John Walker comes in, and he just got his, I believe that was right after he got his ass kicked by the Wakandans. No, it was Wakanda happens after. But he gets his ass kicked by them, and then whenever they're in the room with Zemo, he gets his ass kicked again by the they were called the what?
The Dahlia.
It's like the Dora Jali.
Yeah, the
Dora Milaje.
Yeah, the Dora Milaje. They come in and they kick his ass, and the first thing he says is they weren't even super soldiers. And so it's just we get bit by bit by bit this man, since he's put on the suit and he's got the fucking the shield, he has been taking fucking L's, dude.
Yep.
every episode leading up to this one, he's been taking L after L after L, and I think just the big turning point in the episode that we get to is unfortunately, and I really like this character, and I felt like he had a lot going for him. The actor was doing a great job, but Battlestar fucking dies, dude. Yep. We get a fucking death right in front of John Walker's eyes, and
he was already
how did y'all feel
he was
about
already heated too,
Yep. How did y'all feel about that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we kind of knew it was coming down to something like this, where I didn't know the snap was gonna happen like this. I knew there was gonna be something drastic, because throughout these episodes, John has been, he's snappy, but I was saying this last time. I don't know if I said it in the discussion, but I said it last time where I was like, I don't really see him really being mean. Yeah, he's a dick sometimes, but I don't think he's a jerk, or I don't think he's turning evil now. I just think he's getting fed up with taking all these L's. That's it. And Battlestar, I mean, he was always the cool-headed one. He was always the supporter.
Even in this episode, he calmed John down and was like, hey, give them a chance to give them a chance to talk to Kali. And he was like, after, and John Walker was like, no, I don't want to do that. Fuck that shit. I wanna go fuck shit up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he did his. He was a good character. He was all right. He played his role as a supporter, as a sidekick to John, and it sucks, man. I mean, this man, get what saves John. That's the thing that's also kind of the thing that I was talking about with John. I feel a little bit for John, because he was about to get, killed by Carly. And he's the one that saves him. Saves him, tackles Carly, kicks it. Carly's the one that kills her, right? Because she kicks him into the wall.
I thought somebody punched him.
I don't know if it was Carly or not. I don't remember. I thought it was her. Do you remember, Besh?
Where John Walker was in the room with a knife by himself.
No, it was
No,
like that. He got saved.
where what's his name gets
Who killed Battlestar?
Well, I believe. I mean, it was a scramble with a bunch of people with masks, but yeah, I believe it was probably Kali or at least
it was one of them.
Her name's
yeah,
Carly, not Carly. Carly.
Carly.
Carly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why she takes off her mask and shows that bit of shock.
Yeah.
And yeah, Golden's saying in the chat that yeah, it was Carly that one that punched.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sent him flying into that thing. But yeah, I mean, so John Walker seeing that, finally we get that. And what I loved is that everything went silent for so long in this whole section. Like it's just like the whole world didn't matter other than his rage. That's all that there was. And he bursts through the window, goes onto the car, and he's just looking. And the whole section, like, whenever he's in the hallway leading up to all this, and he's like focusing in on his senses, and he's listening to doors close and shit. That's where I was like, he has to have the serum. He has to. And then as soon as I saw the shield go into the wall, I was like, it's fucking over. And then the crazy thing, and it's like, man, it's just like how they set these pieces and then how they unfold is just insane. But like we get the guy that dies, the one that John Walker kills, he states in this episode that he looked up to Captain America when he was younger. And it's like, God damn, imagine looking up to a hero and looking up to someone like Steve Rogers and then dying to the person with that mantle. Like, fuck, man. Like, Marvel just... I honestly feel like this is definitely one of probably the best episode so far.
Yeah.
And like, dude, this show... The themes that they hit with, like, freaking, just sympathetic sides to both of our, like, you know, everybody involved. Like, the Flag Smashers have their reasons, and they're not, like, completely unvalidated, but they're also just not doing it the right way. And then you like all the struggles that's going on with everybody. It's just so crazy how Marvel is like doing such a good job at this TV show, having so much depth. And I honestly feel like this whole, like, if you look at all this when it's all said and done, like, it's better than some of the movies they put out. I agree. Like, you know, like, completely, and it's up there. Like, this is on par with, you know, the Winter Soldier movie for me, because it's like really, really emotional, impactful, like suspenseful, very. Like I said, you can ask Brawley. I was saying it throughout the episode. I was like, man, this is intense. I feel like uncertainty. I feel on the edge of my seat. It's so crazy.
Even the scene where like they're just like. Where she's talking about the mom during the funeral service. There was like this huge like tension in the air that I was like, oh my god, like why do I feel like I feel so scared?
And
like,
you know why? Because John was in the background waiting, counting down the minutes, and he was impatient.
Yeah.
That's what was making it intense, because you know it's gonna go fucking sideways. Like, we're getting somewhere, and then John just bursts in. He's like, "Carly, you're under arrest," blah blah, and it's like, man, you fucking dumbass, like, God. And that's what I mean. He's like, just L after L after L, and it's just like this guy, like, and it definitely makes you feel bad for him, because you see, even what he was saying, like, oh, those 3 Medal of Honors that I got, like, the things that we did in Afghanistan, like, was that even right? You know? And so you it's like you can't help but feel like this guy is just trying to prove to the world that he's okay, but internally he's not. And it's like, fuck, man, so intense.
So the other thing I will say, I don't really I guess I wish they were to explain more, is like, what is Carly's group actually fighting? I know they mentioned like GRC. I know they mentioned, like, oh, our people are on the streets. But, like, what are they fighting to get to this level? Like, where it's kind of like they're bombing stuff and they're asking demands and they had to put serum. Like, I feel like we're just kind of, like, running with whatever we're given. Like we didn't get know where did they get the serum from, or when did they get injected, when did they put this, how did they get the obviously we know like the power broker had it if she stole it. But, like how, or because I don't it's just kind of like oh, you guys are mad at something, and well, we identify with Sam, and we identify with Bucky, and they obviously are are in the right, so we're gonna side with them. So I don't have any real sympathy for Carly, other than like the little scenes that she has with her mom or Mama Danya, or with the people. But like again, like she does so much traveling, and she does so much. She's always in a group. It wasn't until like when that guy got killed that I was like, okay, maybe I feel a little bit sad. But what are they? What who's doing wrong to her? Because I feel, in my opinion, I feel like the blip was a universal thing, or a fine global thing. It's not like, oh, it benefited America or it benefited one country. Like we're all dealing with it. And so
that just made me realize that like what Captain Marvel says in Endgame, that what's happening on Earth is happening everywhere. Yeah. So it just makes me feel like, man, how are they going to explain what life, like, what problems and what sort of like issues are happening in space and all these different planets, and like the blip and people being re-established and people leaving and stuff. Like that's gonna be fucking nuts.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Like I get it. Like I'm sure there's a video out there that I can watch. I'm sure they kind of like talk about it here and there, and it's sprinkled around the series. And obviously, I'm not trying to say like, please, hold my hand and tell me everything. But I don't I just don't know. Like I don't see like why I should be picking one side or the other. Like it's not like.
Well, I mean, I feel like I mean, Golden says it here in the chat, and also, I mean, I agree. The Flag Smashers' reasoning is the fact that they're fighting for the people who got removed from their homes when people from the blip came back. So all the people who got tossed out on the street, that they are people. And she talks about, I mean, they've sprinkled it in throughout the series. I feel like enough, because if they did more, people would be like, all right, move on. We want to get back to the
I don't
heroes.
see the justification, like her having to go to the degree of bombing a place and killing people. I don't see that level yet. Like if I were to see some, asshole, government official going in and saying, like, oh, these people can find somewhere else. Or if you saw somebody like...
Well, yeah, you're supposed to just be inferred that. And just think of it in the sense of, like, have you ever seen, like, Les Mis? You know how, like, they start a revolution? Like, that's how they're seeing their point of view, is that the only way we're going to get forward, momentum, and the only way we're going to establish ourselves as something that's actually... something to be reckoned with. That's how they see it, is like, we're gonna do these things because that's the only thing they'll understand. And we get the little news thing right after saying like, oh, the Flag Smashers are getting support from people around the world, but we're gonna continue and try to get back to normality.
Maybe
and blah,
if I saw a riot, maybe if I saw something, to me personally, I just don't think it's enough, because obviously we haven't seen the power broker. Right, we don't know who he is yet. I have an idea, but we haven't seen him. And then people kind of say, well, look at John Walker. Like John Walker basically represents the GRC, and I'm like,
we also got that too. Yeah, the teacher was saying, oh, the GRC, they didn't send anybody. It's been 6 months. He said,
but is that enough to bomb a place?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you're living in a world where people don't give a shit about you, and
the water that was in Michigan, how many years did they have until they got something, right? You didn't see Michigan just start fucking bombing places just because they didn't get shit.
Okay, well, we're dealing with a fictional world. We're like, I'm just saying.
Like it's gotta. I feel like, oh, we didn't get our supplies for 6 months. It's still not enough. Like something.
But it's been 6 months since the blip, but it's been instantaneous from when the blip happened to where people got relocated and forgotten. So it's like,
I get it, but I don't think 6 months is enough for this drastic right? For them to be smashing up places, to them to having to get the serum, for them, like I get it and I understand they have this need to fight. I kind of just needed like something, like a Hydra member or I don't know, whatever, right? Ross to come out and be.
That's what I don't know. I feel like that's why I like Winter Soldier the movie, and that's why I like this, because when Marvel gets grounded and you don't have like extremities of like, oh, we need some super name to be attached to it. Like we have Power Broker, so that's what's driving the whole Marvel MCU aspect of it. But this is very grounded human interactions of what, like, just things that could be done like in like a normal setting, I guess. We're sprinkling in, here's some Wakandans and here's some super soldiers for sure, but it's still like very human emotions that are being put on this. Yeah, so I personally like that it's minimized in this sense. It's not on a grander scale. It's not like, oh, it has to be someone behind. It's Hydra. It's Mephisto. None of that shit. It's just straight up humans, just random people having struggles in a superhero world. And
I laughed so hard at Power Broker was Mephisto. Oh,
Stop.
I've been seeing a lot of people have been throwing around the speculation that it's Sharon.
Yeah, I was reading that too.
And Sharon's the Power Broker. I don't know how I feel about that. It'd be a crazy twist for sure. But I know I mentioned that I thought that John Walker was the one texting Carly, saying, "Oh, I know where you are. I'm gonna kill you." She got a text today saying like, "Oh, you're what was the text that she got, saying something like you're living off of shit, what was it?" She got a text and the guy reads it to her. It was after she got shot by Zemo, and it's basically from the Power Broker.
Oh yeah,
same thing. It's not.
She
just says that the text says, "I will find you and I will end you." That's
yeah. Like, I know you have the serum. You better give it to me.
like a part of me thinks is Ross, because Sharon's working for the Power Broker. She says it now. Could she be lying? Sure, but I don't think she is, because what the Power Broker wants the most is serum back. She never really gives a damn about the serum at all. Like it even gets destroyed. She has her eyes on Cap. Like she never once mentions it. Like, oh, I need the serum. Like, guys, make sure you don't let the serum go. Like, so I don't. It's not her. I do think she's working for the Power Broker, and I think it makes sense that it's Ross, because they were both, high-ranking officials. It would make sense for Sharon to stay there undercover and work for Ross, who is, doesn't know what to do because he got blipped and came back. So it makes sense for him, because he is that kind of level. Like he could be running GRC. I don't think it's what is it, freaking whatever his name is, Zola. I don't think it's Zola. Because it's just weird. I don't know. I think it's Ross. The only thing that kind of makes it me feel like it's not Ross is that, wouldn't Ross be able to get Sharon out of Madripoor if she wanted to, if she needed to, or like something? And Sam saying he would do it is kind of like, well, maybe she does. Maybe it's not Ross, because if it was Ross, then he probably could get her out. But I would say, if I had to bet money, it's Ross.
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky, and I'm really interested to see where I can't believe Falcon said that Zemo El Chapo'd his way out of there, but that was
funny.
But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how they're gonna play out the Power Broker, because we are on episode 4. We got 2 more left. And man, it's so hard to say that because the show's so good. I want more, but yeah, we got 2 more episodes left, and yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about in the episode that stood out to you? Any moments or anything that you wanted to touch on?
That fight that they had in the room with the warriors from Wakanda was pretty intense. Especially that scene where Io fucking like stomps on the shield and like instantly grabs it. Like that shit was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And
For me, like a moment that I really liked was the discussion that Battlestar and Cap have in that one like mall
oh
area
yeah,
that they were like standing in, where he's just saying like, "Oh, the serum amplifies everything." So he was drawing the comparison like the serum brings out more of who you are, and it's like Steve Rogers on one hand, and then there's Carly on the other, and it really like throughout all of this show, like you see that John Walker is a guy who struggles with acceptance of others. He struggles with measuring up with his own expectations, and you see how much like just everything with the war has affected him. So I feel like the serum, like as much as he thought it was going to be his answer to fixing things that was wrong in his life, like I feel like it just made it fucking worse.
yeah.
And yeah, I'm really impressed. Like I thought for sure episode 1, I'm not the most familiar with US agents or whatever, but I feel like they did a great job at introducing this character and then making you kind of, uneasy about him, but kind of, rooting for him here and there, but then not rooting for him, and then just, upset with him, and now it's just like unhinged super soldier serum guy. And I do wish they had an on-screen transformation or something that like showed him maybe having a little bit of a hesitation with it, or maybe just some sort of, because I know the what was the name of the doctor, Nagel or something like that.
Nagel.
I know he said he perfected it, so there was no wonkiness, no nothing. Because that's always going on in the back of my mind. I'm like, you see these other super soldiers running around and jumping and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I feel in my mind, I'm like, I feel like they shouldn't be that good at being a super soldier just yet, because they're it's like being in a brand new body. But obviously, with him saying all that, then it makes more sense. But it is weird. At least John Walker made it come off as if he was getting used to everything whenever he was performing after he took it, because the shield going into the wall, he probably thought like, oh, I'm gonna bounce it off the wall after hitting him in the back or something, but it actually went into the wall. And then him opening that door whenever he ran to it, like, and it just burst open the entire thing. I like that a little bit more, where it shows him kind of coming into his element with the thing. But
Yeah,
I really like that conversation with him and Battlestar, and it kind of just pushed further even more.
I really want to give
that sort of
I
thing.
want to give shout outs to the actor that's playing John Walker too, because holy fucking shit, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
he's done a great job at. It's like the perfect fit for like a character that you just you wanna like you. I think I don't know if you said this during the discussion or maybe it was after, but you made the comparison to Joffrey from Game of Thrones. But it's like that same sort of vibe where it's a character that really owns the character. Like it's an actor that really owns the character to where you hate the fucking character, but you're like, damn, props to the guy for like making me feel this way.
exactly.
Like you're doing your job as an actor.
Exactly.
And yeah, I totally agree. I mean, yeah, his acting all around has been awesome.
Yeah, that episode was it's like, dude, like it was literally like every other scene. I was like, oh my god, like I was like there was just scenes like when Zemo picked up the serum, I was like, oh no, like, and then when John Walker got the serum, I was like, oh no, like
Oh
like
no, yeah.
oh no, like you just know
Yeah.
exactly like fuck.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. Going back to Battlestar's unfortunate death, I thought that the way it was going to play out was that it was going to be either a fake death where we thought he was dead, but then he was just unconscious or something, or I thought it was going to be like maybe they both got the serum. Because I for a moment I thought that he did, because when he looked at the water when he was tied up,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, is his senses like kicking in? Like, is he focusing or whatever? Kind of like what John Walker did, but it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, I just felt like the action scenes did really a great job in this one. But I still, I don't know. I still feel like, and I promise you, this isn't just the Winter Soldier fan in me or whatever. And I know how expert, how much of expertise the Dora, what are they called again? The Dora Bajali or
Yeah.
whatever. I know how awesome they are, but like I feel like the show really hasn't fully capitalized on like the Winter Soldier's supposed to be like a fucking beast of a fighter, and like years and years and years of being a super soldier. Like he honestly, I know he's not gonna fucking want to hurt the people who helped him in life, and with his brain fucking being all iffy with the words or whatever. But I kind of wish we got a little bit more expertise from the character, because it always feels like they're on the losing end of the exchange. You know what I mean? And that's probably the only thing in this show that I feel like I wish they did better, was kind of do a better job of making these people feel like they are superheroes that are above the cut from others. And that's why I was glad in this episode they kind of stomped the Flag Smashers, because that's how it should be. And that little exchange with Io, where she like took his arm
Oh, this
down.
shit was so
I
cool.
yeah, it was crazy, and it definitely makes sense that they would have a failsafe in on the Winter Soldier, just in case.
It's their tech, so that's what they're.
Yeah, it's their tech. Yeah, it makes total sense. But I'm really interested in their relationship with Io and Bucky, because it feels like the way they talk to each other and the way they like interact, it feels like they have more than just like oh, she was just watching me as a guard or whatever, which is really cool. But yeah, I mean that's it for me. Other than that, I can't fucking wait to see how it's gonna unfold with the next episode. I know with everybody on their phone catching him, we know for sure how the fuck Falcon's gonna get the shield back now. And what do you all
Well,
how do you all think?
Well, I mean, because we don't know, right? We don't know how John, like, they just showed John immediately after he did what he did. We don't know, like,
I mean, we were gonna assume.
what if this dude like just full on snack, because he has super soldier serum now.
So what I think should happen. This is what I think. I think they're gonna arrest John Walker, take away the shield, give it back to Sam, or Sam.
Do you think he's gonna go willingly though?
Whoa, wait. Yes, because I think the Power Breaker is gonna break him out for the finale.
Huh.
Damn. Okay, I could see that.
I see that's how it's gonna work. Where he's gonna go in, and then someone's gonna intervene and get him out, and then they're basically gonna like unleash John Walker on Sam and Bucky, and I feel like this will be a way for Sam to prove himself, but also maybe they'll get in touch. Like they'll reach out, because I mean we all know that John Walker if they go that route, he becomes U.S. agent, so he becomes a good guy. Just like in his own way. But
dude, I just had something hit me, and I don't know if I'm okay with what I'm thinking right now. But you know how I mentioned before that one of the directors or whatever, they said that there was something happening in like episode 5 that was gonna be sad. Do you think, with what happened with the Shield and what happened with John Walker, do you think we're gonna get a scene next episode of Steve dying from old age?
Wow.
No,
You think Falcon's gonna go talk to him, and we're gonna have one final scene with him?
no, I don't see that.
I could see it
I
happening.
do see Isaiah Bradley coming. I do see him probably showing up and maybe dying, to show Steve what's important. I think what you're thinking about is replaces Isaiah Bradley. I don't think Steve is show up.
I could see either or, but I think something like that's gonna happen where it's like the symbol was tarnished, and in hand we're gonna get something kind of
Remember,
like,
he
you
was
know,
Captain America
little-
too.
Yeah, because he's still alive technically, right? Oh well, he's on the moon, right?
Right,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was Captain America before, and
Mhm.
so I think he's gonna show up one more time. I think he's going to. To me, it's like, okay, where are we going? Like, okay, so the next episode definitely has to play in favor with the villains, but again, and this kind of harkens back to what I'm talking about. Like, I need to know who the villains are. Like, not Carly's group, but obviously they're doing bad things. But what are they left with? Her and what? Like 2 people?
Well, yeah, I think the Flag Smashers aren't like, it's not going to be a forward group that's we're going to see more and more of for years to come. I definitely think that they're the problem for the show, but we're building characters like U.S. Agent and Power Broker and stuff like that for the future. I think that like we're having our controlled
I'm just talking
environment.
about the series. Like, who does Sam and Bucky have to overcome? Is what I'm guessing.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a Power Broker.
Right, but what though? Like, does he have?
Well, I think the puzzle piece is like, if we go with what you said, was the Power Broker is the main goal, but we probably won't be able to achieve that main goal in this show, and the main goal is probably going to be stopping U.S. Agent together or something.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I have a very big feeling that this is not gonna be. I don't agree with the fact that John Walker is gonna go quietly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a reoccurring thing, or he might show up in the future here and there. But I do think that that's probably going to be the person who's going to be standing up against Falcon and Winter Soldier in this at the end. And then the Power Broker is going to be like, hey, well, I got away, but they know me now. Here's my reveal, and there's more to come from me and other shows.
I think what's going to happen is the Power Broker is going to know that he has a serum, and now they're just going to take blood away from him to make more.
Maybe. I don't know what more they're going to do with all of the super soldier stuff, but like I said, I do think that the talk that Sam needs, or the motivation for him to grab that shield and own it, I think it's gonna be either Isaiah or
it
Steve.
Can't be because he's on the moon, right?
Well, yeah, but maybe Falcon talks to him. Maybe the moon is just like the name of a fucking cabin. Or the moon is just the name of like a base in the fucking the ocean or something. I don't know, like some bullshit like that, where the moon is just like a hotel in some fucking old town or something.
Gotcha.
Like, how Steve is very old fashioned, so they could be like, oh, I heard that you took him to the moon or whatever. He's up in the moon, and he's actually like at some bar called the Moon that he used to go to.
Yeah, that sounds such. Oh my god. That sounds exactly like something he would do.
And so I think it's one of those two where it's going to be I feel like not so much Isaiah, only because Isaiah didn't look like he was on his deathbed. He looked fucking jacked out of his
fight. So I think he'll go on a fight and lose and die and
It would be great to see him in a suit and with the shield and shit. That'd be fucking cool. But yeah, that's my prediction. I think next episode we're going to get something that's going to help motivate Sam to finally step up. Like, I think we're finally gonna get that last little bit of what he needs to get there. But I didn't mention it, but yeah, we also saw another similarity with the talk that Sam wasn't talking to Carly, but she said that that shield should just be destroyed. And it's another kind of mirror a train of thought between what she thinks the shield is and what should have been done with it, and then what Sam said as well. With he said he should have destroyed it. So it's like, it's just a lot to live up to, and I like that they've done a great job with the universal symbol and what it means and what it should mean and blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all it for me. I'm super excited for next episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Again, I mean, just solid performances from a lot of the actors here. Really good action scenes, and I'm wondering what's the. I'm also wondering what the end play is for the Wakandans and what they're gonna do to close it out.
They'll get Zemo, but probably at the.
Yeah. And you guys, anything you have to say?
I'm pretty good. I think we touched base on everything. I just really want to applaud Marvel for this episode, especially like that end. Like, dude, I swear to God, when I saw that ending shot where like he's holding the shield and you see like the blood dripping from like the shield and shit, like, dude, that shit gave me chills. Like,
yeah, it's just like his
yeah,
posture.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole like he looked like he looked like he was on a psychotic break. Like he looked like he was going crazy. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like a crazy evil villain holding Captain America's shield. Like that's what it looked like. It was fucking crazy.
Definitely, yeah. Like the small little like like ticks and twitches that his body was doing, and kind of like he was like hunched over a little bit, and just the camera angle shooting up at him from like under the shield. Like, man, so crazy.
Yeah.
But all right, I think that's pretty much it for us. Thank you so much, everybody who's here live in the chat, watching and chatting with us and listening to us go off about the episode. Like we've been doing for the end of all the other discussions, we are kind of rating them, and like I always say, it's hard to rate this when we don't have the full picture. Some pieces of the puzzle aren't there yet, but I mean, I want to say, probably on behalf of all of us, this episode was probably a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was the best episode so far, and yeah, it was amazing. The episode was really, really good.
I'll say.
So yeah,
it's already better than WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean that way because WandaVision was a huge like.
The thing is I'm gonna wait on that because I think I enjoyed WandaVision for that reason. Like I enjoyed WandaVision because we got to sit and like bitch about theories for like 3 hours over every episode. Like, I loved the show for that. Like
WandaVision was definitely more of like along for the ride enjoyment rather than like giving me my conclusion.
For me, I just feel like this episode was better than any episode of WandaVision. Maybe in totality, WandaVision was great, but not one episode touched this episode.
And I mean, I just feel like overall, all these episodes have been solid. Like, there's not one of them where I'm just like, oh man, this was filler, or oh, this was like, not engaged.
The first episode was a little
like half filler of the beginning.
It was a little like I don't know where this is going, but like now we have like a full image of like what's going on, and like it's gotten so much better since then. Like the roller coaster is only going up. Like it's only going up.
Yeah. And what Golden says in the chat, he basically said, "Wait till Loki. I bet it's gonna get nutty in that show." And
wait.
The trailer came out, and that shit looks fucking cool.
The trailer looked amazing. I cannot wait for that show. Yeah. That show's gonna be good.
But all right, 10 out of 10 all around from all of us. We will be back here again for episode 5. Again, we do this every basically Thursday night leading up until Friday. At 2 a.m. is when it airs for us in Central Time. So we watch the episode. They're usually about like an hour long or so, maybe a little bit under that. And then we start streaming like around 3 a.m. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back again at it for the next episode. And until then, just take care. And again, thank you, Broly and Glass, for coming on and hanging out and watching some Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace.